good. Does it work out?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. I want to take a video.
Hey, Mr. Boyle.
Hey, Ben. Is anyone else confused how this works?
No, this is easy. You just gotta listen.
Alright. What does radical mean?
It means different or very different from what is traditional.
Alright. Thank you. Mm.
What is your art night on too?
Friday.
So tomorrow's Wednesday. Doesn't look like you have got art on Sunday or Saturday. Because why? Next class after school.
No.
No, the Xbox controller was on the ground. What were you doing? Just moving it down, put it on the floor?
Yep.
No. Well, no.
I'm in a group
What?
chat.
Hello?
Hello?
What is this?
Who is this?
Who are you? You're not
Uh,
Tiffany. I'm looking for Tiffany. Who are you people?
Did anybody else do that, or was that just me?
That was really weird. I don't know. I'm looking for Tiffany.
Like, who are you people?
This isn't Tiffany.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Well, you can basically just copy and paste all the answers to notes in your iPod.
Oh, there's that, and I think it might be. Since there's a
What?
microphone on your headset, I think there might be a mute button on your headset or an on and off switch on your headset, because I can't hear you right now.
Me?
No,
Or the other one?
I can't hear a thing.
Alright, let's see. How many questions can I ask in the next minutes?
What?
Me? Me?
Danny, if you go to the left sidebar, there's this setting at the top that says chat, and it's like a little speech bubble. If you click that, something will open up on the right side of your screen, and you can talk basically to everybody who's in the chat.
Chat. Speech bubble.
Who's in the
Chat. Bubble. Speech. Is this thing it? Wait, can you hear me now?
We can always hear. We've always been able to hear you, but it's just a matter of having you click the chat button so you can. Here, let me try something.
I'm not very good with technology.
Okay. Mr. Boyle, if you hit slash question mark, it'll bring up a whole list of commands in the chat room so that you can privately message someone and mute people and unmute people. So I'm gonna try to message Danny to see if the chat will come up. Okay. Okay. Oop.
Who would want to see this video? I don't understand.
Apparently he was looking for Tiffany. What part of Mr. Boyle's 9th grade world history class study session?
She must have thought Tiffany would be there. Must be a tryhard. You know, I'm just gonna go back to asking questions through text, because then I can just copy and paste everything.
Okay. Are you on your iPod or your computer?
iPod.
Oh.
Using his computer. Alright.
Mr. Boyle, try clicking your settings button at the top of your screen. I don't know if it's at the top of your screen, but it's at the top of mine. And it like has a default microphone or built-in input. I bet if you plug in your headphones and then select built-in input, then maybe the mic will work since it's like the input of the microphone.
What's the mojito?
What?
Alright. The Mutsuhito.
What category is that under?
Imperialism.
Okay. And what's it called again? Mutsuhito?
Yeah. Put it in the text. Are we like the only ones that have been on this?
Nah, well, there was that kid Alex.
Twice. There were 2 Alexes. Copy. This is always fun. I should probably really study the Quizlet.
So he basically Mutsuhito. He was the emperor of Japan, and he changed Japan from a
All right, how about
feudal
that?
state.
Is that better?
Yeah, we can hear you. Woohoo.
All right. There you go.
He
All right.
was.
Danielle, hi Ben.
I'm Mr. Boyle.
Hey.
Well, we got the whole gang here.
All three of us. Steven's
Well,
here.
well, you get the benefit then.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Steven was here at one point, but I don't know where he went.
Who?
Even. Oh, Fia
I
Donahue.
was just like, come on.
She texted me, how much have you studied for history? Studying right now.
Hopefully a little bit more than he has.
Yeah, maybe.
I lost you.
So,
Hold
yeah,
on, I lost you.
Who is Mutsuhito?
He was Emperor of Japan that began the Meiji era in
Right.
that country.
The what era? The Meiji era? Wasn't that like when they changed everything from the feudal system with like the samurai into like they tried to make it all
Yes.
capitalist?
They modernized their government,
Yeah.
their armed forces, education, yeah, all of those things.
Afia texts me, how did you
When
get
it says
there?
the
Link.
go on Twitter. It took me about 20 minutes to find this.
I found it pretty quick. And it wasn't that hard to install. It was just
Hey
reading.
Ben, we're not as smart as you.
Did the link help in the tweet, or
Yeah.
is that how you got
Well,
here?
yeah, it opened up. I'm on my computer. It opened up to this website, and you had to install Google plugin, and it had the directions on the screen. So you had to double click that, and then it would open up that. It would install. You'd have to put it into your computer, and then you would open up the website, and you'd have to allow this, like kind of like what we do with your website. We'd have to allow it in two different places, and then we'd be putting.
Okay.
I basically just app and then I found this.
Oh yeah, I tried to do it on my phone, and it had in the App Store come up, but nothing loaded.
I was gonna say, because I think it's supposed to work on your phone and any other device you have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What is hold on. Congress of Vienna.
Danielle, the Congress of can you hear me, Danielle?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Congress of Vienna was when they tried to put Europe back together again after Napoleon.
Wasn't that all the European
Alright.
powers?
Right. All the European leaders meet in Vienna, Austria, and they tried to put the map of Europe back together again.
Didn't they like punish
Together.
France?
They did
tried
punish France greatly because they blamed them for Napoleon and his decision or his work to try and take over the whole continent.
All leaders met in Vienna and they punished France. Congress.
What is a Maxim gun? Oh, is that the gun the guy Max made, and it was a machine gun that they used to fight the British used to fight
Yes, it's the one they used to take over Africa and places like that.
yeah, and they just took down all the troops.
Yep.
So it's basically just a machine gun.
Yeah, it was the first.
Yes.
First machine gun.
It's like an early form of one.
Early.
So the Russo-Japanese War was when Russia and Japan, after they had been modernized, were fighting over Korea.
Correct. It's the first time that an Asian nation defeated a European power.
Okay.
War. First time Asian on
What does Pakistan have to do with imperialism?
After World War II, when India was given their independence, the Muslims picked up India. Sorry, rewind that. The Hindus picked up India. The Muslims were given Pakistan. They divided India into sections. And Pakistan went to the Muslims.
Pakistan was kind of like a reward for the Muslims.
I guess so, yeah. So they didn't have to be a part of a Hindu-controlled India.
Oh, okay. So basically, they wanted their own like Muslim place.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Wait, so the Russo-Japanese War, Russia and Japan were, well, and was keep Korea, right? Or no? Or China? What was it?
They fought over Korea.
Korea.
Fought over Korea.
Yes.
Alright.
Who is Jean-Jacques Dessalines?
He's the one who finishes off the revolution in Haiti, ultimately achieves Haitian independence.
So he, after Duddy Bookman?
After Bookman and after Toussaint Louverture, Dessalines comes in and sort of cleans it all up. And
so he finishes the slave revolution.
Yeah, it's at that point, right. At that point, it's over at that point.
And they become independent. And does he rule the independent?
Maybe for a time. I don't know that he does it long term. But he does finish off the revolution.
Okay. And Toussaint Louverture, does he start the revolution?
No, he's the middle. Dowdy Bookman starts it.
So Duddy Bookman.
Louverture takes it to the next stage.
So is Duddy Bookman a slave?
Correct. And voodoo priest.
Yep. And then Toussaint Louverture tries to organize everything.
Yeah, he's the one. He tries to keep the revolution going, but still keep them aligned with France.
What do you mean by keep them aligned with France?
Well, he doesn't want to necessarily break Haiti away. He wants to end slavery, but keep Haiti as a colony of France.
Because
and
he
the
thinks
don't
that they'll
want that. The slaves want independence.
He thinks they'll benefit?
Correct.
Okay.
But then Dessalines comes in and ends it.
And was that a bad thing for Dessalines to come in and end it?
And what, and make Haiti independent?
Yeah, because I know they've had financial struggles.
No, he finishes the job at, well, I guess since then you could argue it might have been. But probably not from the Haitian point of view. They'd rather be independent than ruled by someone else.
Yeah.
Wait. For the Enlightenment thinkers, was it Montesquieu or Voltaire that wanted religious freedom?
Voltaire's religious freedom.
And Montesquieu wanted the
separation of powers.
Alright.
Okay.
And then John Locke was just the
Natural rights.
Natural rights.
What was the Declaration of the Rights of Man?
It's France's sort of Declaration of Independence.
From
Here are the
who?
rights we're giving you. Every citizen in France is going to have.
From Britain?
No, from France, from the government of France.
So the people of France become
Independent. The
Okay.
Tennis Court Oath, the National Assembly.
Are those basically all connected, sort of the same thing, but not really?
Yes.
So the Tennis Court Oath.
Is the agreement that the third estate takes when they walk out of the Estates General.
Mm-hmm.
They go and they say the Tennis Court Oath is we're not leaving until we come to an agreement about the rights of people in the future.
So basically, the third
Rights,
estate.
that agreement becomes the Tennis Court Oath. I mean, that agreement becomes the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen.
Okay, so that becomes that. So when the third estate leaves and they go to the tennis court and they make the tennis court oath, that's essentially just like the beginning foundation of the Declaration of the Rights of Man.
Correct.
The bourgeoisie is the middle class, right?
The bourgeoisie is the middle class, right?
Okay, and then the what was the working class? The
It's the third estate as well.
Okay. So
What was the...
go ahead, Danny.
Alright, what was the old regime?
That's like all the kings. All the kings of France.
Including
The Louis in the group.
Alright.
Including Louis?
All of those Louis are part of that old regime.
Including all the Louis.
All kings. And then Napoleon comes in and ends that, right?
Napoleon ends the Reign of Terror.
Oh, yeah. Who is ruling during the Great Fear?
That was what...
Louis still in charge of the Great Fear.
Okay. And the Great Fear is everybody's like dying and like
The women of Paris break into Versailles. They're looking for food. Anything to feed their families.
So scorched earth policy is basically just when they like burn everything.
Hold on, Danielle, sorry. Steven's just asking me a question in the Hangout chat.
Yep.
Danielle, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Scorched earth policy. That's just when they basically burn everything down so the enemy can't have anything.
Hold on one more time. You're not loud enough for me to hear through speakers.
Can you hear me now? Hold on. Can you hear me now?
No. Sort of, but
No?
not a lot.
How about now?
That's a little bit better.
Alright. The scorched earth policy,
Oh,
that's
okay.
based,
Is when the Russians retreat into their country as Napoleon's chasing them down. They burn everything behind them so that Napoleon can't use any of it to his advantage.
so there's two of them on the sheet. Or they're two different things?
Yeah, it's the same
Like they're-
thing.
So basically,
Alright.
And I think because one of them was probably in Haiti, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
What did they
think
do
it's
in
the same idea that the colonists in Haiti or the slaves in Haiti make sure that they don't allow the French army to use anything off the land.
So, I can't use anything off land. Alright.
the Tainos? They were the local people of Haiti.
What?
The Tainos.
They're the original inhabitants of the island.
Were they enslaved when France came in?
Yeah, they're pretty well when Columbus. Remember, Columbus is the one that comes in first,
Mm-hmm.
and almost immediately those
They're killed by
those
disease,
original
right?
inhabitants become slaves.
Basically, every original inhabitant is enslaved.
That's true.
Okay. What is the Battle of Trafalgar and the Peninsula War?
The Peninsula War is in the text column that he already answered on the group chat.
Where's that?
Ooh, there it is. Alright, that's better.
Where's that? Where's that? Are there more people in the group chat than there are in the video call?
Yeah,
It
just
doesn't look like it.
left.
That better? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Because I just figured out how to get my speakers working now, so.
Okay.
Alright, or my headset working. I finally figured that out. I'm sorry. No, it's just, it looks like it's just Danielle and Steven and myself were in the Hangout, and Danielle, Ben, and I were in the Chrome Hangout.
So how do I get to the other hangout where
If you click on, I think somewhere there should be a button, like a green speech bubble, text bubble, towards the bottom of your screen that talks about, or that has something about a Hangout.
This is why you should have it on your iPod.
look it up.
That's okay. Steven's only the questions that Steven has been asking have been about the benefits. Sorry, he wanted to know about the positive and negative effects of imperialism for colonizer and the colonized. Danielle, you asked about Matsuhito. He asked about the Peninsula War.
Yep.
Congress of Vienna, quinine. I think we've got everything else. Does that sound right, Danielle? Danielle, did you get your other questions answered?
I think so.
Okay. Ms. Bennett says you're in the group hangout with Danielle and Steve, so you're just not on the video piece of it. I mean, you're in the video piece, but I don't know why you can't see the hangout with the other questions in it.
Mm. Let's see. Oh, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What is collective bargaining?
It's when workers in a union argue for and try and get all of the same rights, benefits together rather than one person on it. So if you worked in a factory, rather than having one person go and get some rights and another person go and get different rights, the members of the union would all bargain together, would come up with a contract that suited all of them together rather than one by one.
So
for
workers in a union try to get all benefits and rights together.
Correct. So that everyone in the factory would have the same benefits.
but before an individual person would have to come up one by one and get there. Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
What was the Battle of Trafalgar again?
Is that naval battle that Napoleon loses to the British? Remember, he's trying to put his continental system in place, where he's trying to blockade the ports of Europe from British trade,
Mm-hmm.
and the British shut that down at the Battle of Trafalgar.
Okay.
Because Napoleon doesn't have much of a navy, and so his efforts fall very flat.
Okay.
The Peninsula War, is that the war all like over the peninsula, I think in the Black Sea?
No, I think that's Spain.
Spain?
Yeah, it's Napoleon's efforts to try and take over the Iberian Peninsula for himself. And put his own leader in the throne. Yeah.
So
Yep.
He's going to put someone else to lead Spain?
Correct. He wants to put someone else in control of Spain. Preferably someone that's loyal to him. So that he doesn't have to worry about someone sneaking in from the back as he's moving across Europe.
Yeah. But also who was it that Napoleon was with when, or did the coup d'état with?
It doesn't much matter. I mean, I think one of them was his brother.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. There's a small group of people that Napoleon works with on that.
So basically, he'd want to put one of his brother maybe in position at Spain?
Sure, absolutely. Anybody that's loyal to him, anybody that he can control.
Okay.
What is a concordat?
Is a treaty usually made between a country and the Pope. It's
Okay.
a religious agreement.
Oh, what is that under?
It's under Napoleon. I think he was the one he makes with the Pope.
A what?
He makes an agreement with the Pope.
Okay.
To be the to rule, in theory, France, but eventually it means that he becomes sort of the ruler of all of Europe, and the Pope thinks that's okay.
Okay, so he's basically getting the Pope's approval.
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
That's kind of like what Charles the Great, I think, did. We learned about it last year, but he did something where he like bowed down to the Pope and asked to be the ruler.
Same idea.
What's a plebiscite?
Is the vote of the people.
Correct.
Remember, Napoleon is the only choice on a ballot, but he tries to give the people the idea, the impression that he
Yeah.
that they elected him as ruler, even though they really didn't.
Yeah. And I just have one last question.
That's fine. Go ahead.
What's the continental system?
That's what we were talking about with Napoleon. He's trying to blockade English goods from the European continent. And so he would make sure that French goods were the only ones that were traded. It would give him more power. All of those things. Does that make sense, Danielle?
Napoleon tries to blockade goods from England and made sure goods were only traded with France, so he had more.
Right. Yes.
All right.
Ooh, you type very hard, Danielle.
What?
You type very loudly.
You can hear that?
I can, yes, through your microphone.
Oh, sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I'm just pointing it out.
It's got a screen protector, so you have to press a little harder. Oh well. Alright. I think I'm good.
Okay. I think you probably are too.
Alright. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You'll have to let me know tomorrow if you think this was worth it.
Alright.
All right?
Bye. Yep.
Thanks, Danielle.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Ben, are we all set? Do you have any more questions?
Hold on, let me just go with my list.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, this is going to be rapid fire.
Go ahead.
Who is Mary Antoinette?
She is the Queen of France, married to Louis the 16th.
Okay.
She's the one that's, running the show.
Okay.
It's her spending. What is it? It's her spending that eventually brings about the revolution.
Okay. Because she takes a bunch of the tax money and everybody goes into poverty?
Correct, yes.
Okay, Maximilian Robespierre.
Robespierre is the leader of the Reign of Terror. He starts guillotining people.
Oh, that's the guy.
Yes, that's the guy.
He's kind of like a lunatic.
Well, sure. He doesn't think so, but we would probably say that he is.
The Committee of Public Safety
is that group that makes sure that the people of France are loyal to the revolution. And so they're the ones that weren't you saying the other day
Oh
they were the
yeah,
ones
'cause
that
like
taking the
they
kings?
would like raid people's houses, and like even if you had like a playing deck with like a king or queen card on it, you would be killed.
Yes, something like that. Yes,
So safety.
safety, so that the revolution was safe.
Okay. Who's Napoleon?
Yeah, good question. If you're not knowing the answer to that one, you're in a lot of trouble for tomorrow.
Yeah, I figured. Um, Went over a bunch of that.
Unless
Who's
you actually
Otto
need, unless you
von?
actually need the answer.
Who's Otto von Bismarck?
Is the one who unifies Germany.
True.
That idea of realpolitik, um, blood and steel or blood and iron, right? That the government needed to be strong in order to make sure that Germany was unified.
So he was like he like tried to make everybody patriotic about Germany, like.
Yes, yep. He's the architect of a unified Germany.
Who is Giuseppe Garibaldi and Carmilio?
Yeah, Garibaldi's the leader of the Red Shirts in the Italian unification.
So he unifies Italy. Oh
He
well,
helps with
he,
Cavour. Remember, Cavour is the pen and Garibaldi's the sword.
so basically Giuseppe was the troops, and Cavour
Correct.
was kind of like the mastermind behind unifying Italy.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. What is the cottage industry?
Is when all work's done at home. So before the factory system,
Yeah.
right, all of the work that was done, so cottage industry is anything that can be done at home that eventually moves is taken over by the factory system along the way.
Okay. What is it's under imperialism. Quinine.
Quinine is what European countries use to combat malaria,
Was
disease
that?
that a
I
disease
thought
that
I
they
heard.
picked up in Africa.
Yeah, I thought I heard about this in the crash course. It was like
Y-
a tonic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and it like alleviated the malaria.
Yes.
And what was the Berlin Conference?
Is where they divided up Africa among the European powers so that there's no fighting. Here, England, you get these places. France, you get these places.
But they weren't
Germany
really there
here.
in the first
Belgium
place.
here. Let's not have a war. Let's all get along.
The Treaty of Nanjing. That
Of
was
Treaty of Nanking. Go ahead.
was that after the Opium War, and basically Britain said, "We get all this trading power, we get all this, and you get nothing because we just beat you up."
Um, was it England?
I think so. Britain.
I'm trying to remember if which could have been. It probably was, and it probably was after the Opium Wars. Um, yeah, it's the end of the Opium Wars between England and China
Okay.
that opened the trade relationship between the two.
Okay. And the Raj is basically
Is British rule in India.
okay. And who Gandhi?
Is the Indian nationalist who eventually helped achieve India's independence from England.
That's it. Thank you, Mr. Boyle. This helps so
You're
much.
very welcome, Ben. And thank you for being my guinea pig.
No problem.
You'll have to let me know tomorrow what you if this helped you at all.
Oh, it did a lot. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Ben. I'll see you later on.